Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called Colors in the Night 13 by Vilsa. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 once in every row, column, and 3x3 box. We have anti-knight, where cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. So whatever digits in this cell, in addition to not being able to repeat in any column, row, or box, you also have cells which are a knight's move away, which cannot be the same digit as this digit in this cell. So that's how anti-knights work. We have digits along a gray line must read the same forward and backwards. So this could be something like, say, 357753, because it reads the same going this way as it does going this way. And that's how palindromes work. And finally, we have Kropki dots, where cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, and cells separated by a black dot must have a 1:2 ratio. And not all possible dots are given. So, for example, if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure these digits are consecutive. And if this was, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or 4 to maintain the 1:2 ratio between them. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. Whatever digit is here. So this is the same as this digit. So let's just mark them. A and A, B, B, C, C, D, D. Make this E, E, F and F, G and G. We have H, H, I, and this is J and J. Okay. Hmm. This digit can never be 1, because if it were 1, it would have to be consecutive with 2, and in a 1:2 ratio with only 2, and that's not possible. Where is E? E always has to be in box 1, one of those 3. F in box 6 must be one of these 4. G in box 9 has to be one of those 3. J in box 7 has to be here. H in box 7 has to be here. I in box 7 has to be here. A cannot be A, B, or C. So it can't be here. It could be, can't be A, B, or C. So A cannot be here. A cannot be either of these, but A could be any of these here. D can't be here, D can't be here, but D can be any of these 4. D can't be here and can't be here, but it could be any of these 4. Knight's move. Right, I forgot about Knight's move. So H cannot be here because of Knight's move from this H. F cannot be either of these because that's a Knight's move from that F. A cannot be the same as D. A cannot be the same as F. A cannot be here. A can't be B, C, or D. Can't be F. Can't be here. So A has to be here. Which means A cannot be G because of Knight's move. So A is one of those 2. So A could be H. B cannot be here because of normal Sudoku, cannot be here because of Knight's move. It could technically be F, though. So B is one of these two. Which means B has to be, could be I. Maybe we should start coloring. No, I think I just like the letters. That makes it easier to spot. Okay. A cannot be here, cannot be any of these, so A has to be one of these two. Which means A cannot be here, A is one of these two. So A has to be one of those three here. B can't be here, can't be here, can't be here. So this is an AB pair here. This can never be E. So this has to be A or B. And this has to be A or B. So we know B is here, so B has to be one of these three here. E is one of these two. G could be the same as B. Cannot be the same as A. F is one of these two. F could technically be B, but cannot be A. So A is guaranteed here. B is one of these two. B has to be one of these two. These three, actually. Oh, B cannot be here because of knight's move from this B. B is one of those two. B cannot be here. B cannot be either of these either. Because if it's here, it would see that cell by normal Sudoku and that cell by knight's move. If it's here, it sees this cell by normal Sudoku and that cell by knight's move. So B cannot be any of these. B has to be one of these four. Hmm. Okay. Where is C in box 2? Cannot be here, cannot be here, can't be here, so it must be one of these two here. This is all by knight's move, so C has to be one of these three also. Cannot be here because of knight's move from this C. D, where's D? D cannot be here or here. Can't be A because of knight's move. Could be any of these three, though. See. E is here and here, so this can't be E here. F cannot be here or here. H, 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 I. So I is one of those three. E cannot be here. Can't be D or F because it sees both of them. Can't be here because of knight's move, so E has to be one of these two. So E cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here by knight's move. So E has to be one of those two, which means E is one of those three there. This can't be E because of knight's move from that E. So E's one of those two. E's one of these two. E's one of these two. Okay, so we have A, cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. So A is one of those two. B can't be here or here or here. So again, this is a A-B pair. C, so B, we know can't be any of these by knight's move, can't be here. So it's one of these two. C cannot be here because of knight's move. So it's one of those two. D, what about C here? C can't be here and here, so C has to be one of these two here, which means C is one of those three. D can't be here or here or here. Cannot be A, so D is one of these two, which means D has to be one of those three. Okay. So we know B has to be one of these, cannot be here because of normal Sudoku, can't be here because of normal Sudoku, can't be here because of knight's move, so B is one of those two. B has to be here, which means this is guaranteed to be B, C, and D here. D can't be either of these. This one because of normal Sudoku, this one because of knight's move. D can't be the same as A because of knight's move. D can't be here, so D has to be one of these three. So we're guaranteed a D here. We're guaranteed a B here. We're guaranteed a C here. C cannot be here because of this cell for normal Sudoku, this by knight's move. So this must be some B, C, D combination. This cannot be B because of knight's move from that B. So this is a B, C, D combination. Again, J could be any of these. J cannot, okay, so B cannot be here. B can't be here. B cannot be the same as J. But C and D could technically be, right? C cannot either. C can't be here because of normal Sudoku and this by knight's move. So C is one of these two. So if this is J, it matches with D. So that would be D, 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 D. You know, A is one of these two. E cannot be here because of normal Sudoku, cannot be D or F because they're different. They see each other. Can't be C or A by knight's move, so E has to be one of these two. E can't be here because of knight's move. It can't be here because one of these two is an E, so one of these two must be E here, which means E is one of those two there. E is one of these two here. Okay. F cannot be here, cannot be here, can't be here. So F is one of these three. Could be B. D. D cannot be here or here. E, we've gotten that. We've got that. We've got that. F. F has to be one of these two. F cannot be here or here or here, but it could be any of these three. G. G again has to be one of those three. H and H. I could be any of these. So can it be C or D? Yes, possibly. A cannot be here. Cannot be G. Cannot be F. So A can't be here. A can't be G or F. Cannot be here because of knight's move. So A has to be one of these three. A cannot be the same as J. A could be the same as H, though. E sees A, B, C, and D, so it's different from all of those. F and G, though, could be A. F and G cannot be A, but they could be B. F and G both could be B. G could also be C. We don't know. H could be A, cannot be B, C, D. I don't know how helpful this is. A is one of these two. G is not the same as H, I, or J. That's interesting. G cannot be here or here. It could be C. Could be also in any of these spots. So this cannot be 1. It could be 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. So if this is 1, that's 2. This would be 3. Huh. Hmm. Okay. What could this be? So if it's 2, 4, 6, 8, it could be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If it's 3 here, this is 2 or 4. So those are the possibilities there. Hmm. So E is either here or here, or it could be, no, it cannot be there. So E is either here or here in column 2. That's not too helpful. I'm really bad at knight's moves, so this takes me a while to figure out all these things. Hmm. Oh. D is one of those 3. D cannot be E, cannot be here. So it's one of these 5. Cannot be here because it sees all the D's in box 2. So it'd be here or here. Hmm. uh, F cannot be the same as C. So F could be any of these 4. F could be any of these 3. But if F were here, it would see all of these 3 and therefore not be possible. So F is one of these 3 here. It cannot be C again because they share the same box. Cannot be along here. Can't be C again. Can't be the AB pair here. So it's one of these 3. Hmm. G, it cannot be D. Could be C. Cannot be F. So this can't be G. This can't be G because of knight's move. But any of these 5 could be. That ain't helpful. G is not H, I, or J. So G has to be one of these 6. That's not very helpful either. This is interesting. So if this is B, but B and F could be the same thing, right? And in fact, if that were the case, if this were B, that would force B and F to be the same thing. So that would be F. Okay, that's not helpful. If B were here, that would force this to be A. Okay. That would mean F cannot be the same as B. So F would have to be one of these 2, which would force F to be one of those 2. That's fine. So B would have to be here, then, if that's the case. Therefore, this couldn't be B. B cannot be here. B cannot be here. B cannot be G, then, in that case. Not helpful. I don't know. I kind of feel like I have a fog in my mind right now. But I'm pretty sure I don't have COVID. So And I don't know. So H cannot be B, C, or D. Well, we already knew that from this. H could be A. So A can be any of these three. Okay, this cannot be B. If this were B, where would B be in where would B be in box 5? Could not be here because of normal Sudoku, nor here because knight's move. It can't be here. So then it would be the same as F, but then this can't be F. So this can never be B. If B and F are the same, that would mean it's here. If they're not the same, B could be G. So B is one of these three. Okay. G could be the same as B. G could be the same as C. G is not the same as H, I, or J, though. Okay. So say H was the same as A. Then that would mean this is A, this is A, this is A. So this could not be A, which means A would have to be here, which means this could not be A. So A would be one of these two. I mean, it seems plausible. J cannot be here or here because of knight's move, but it could be C or it cannot be C. So it can't be here either. So J could be any of these four. What happens if J is D? So if J is D, that means this is C, this is B, and that's D. This can no longer be B, but neither of these still could be B here. Oh, this can't be B anymore, because if this were B, that would see that one. So then this would have to be B here. Doesn't help us much. H can't be here, so B is one of these two. Well, B can't be here. B is one of these three. B has to be one of those two, which means B would have to be one of these three, or really one of these two. Seems plausible. Hmm. It's not very restrictive right now. Uh, I'm just really bad at Knight's move stuff, so I'm just not seeing a lot. H could be A again. Um, C has to be one of these two. So say C was here. Does that tell us anything? I'm not really sure. This could not be C then. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not really sure where else to attack though along this. I'm really very bad at Knight's move stuff. Maybe here? I don't know. We know E is guaranteed to be one of those two. E is guaranteed to be one of those two. That's not helpful. E cannot be here. So E's guaranteed to be one of these six, but that's not helpful either. um. Hmm. 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 So E cannot be the same as C or D. E cannot be here because of E in the box. So E has to be one of these four. It could be H still. Hmm. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Uh. Oh wait, yeah, C cannot be here. So C cannot be the same as G. Because we know C is one of these two. And again, this cell can't be C because it matches there. This cell can't be C, so C cannot be any of these. C could match any of these four, though. So G is not A, E, F. It cannot be C, because C has to be one of those two. And it sees that cell by normal Sudoku and that cell by Knight's move. Or anti-Knight. D cannot be here, cannot be an E, cannot be here because it sees all the possible D's here in box 2. D could be any of these four, though. Not helpful. No, this can't be B again. Man, I just took a vacation and I feel like I'm just not seeing these anymore. I'm wondering what's going on. Maybe I'm just really tired, but this can't be A. Oh. Okay, I see something. This can't be A because of Knight's move here. This can't be A because it sees the only possible A's in column 3, right? This can't be here because of Knight's move from that A. This can't be A because of all the A in the box. This can't be A because of Knight's move, so A has to be one of these two. And if this is A, that sees this one by normal Sudoku and this one by Knight's move. So this must be H. H has to be A. So this is guaranteed to be A, which means this can't be A, which means this has to be A here. So this is there's no longer an H because it's the same thing as A. Therefore this can't be A here, so A has to be here. B is one of these two then. It's either G or it's this one. And if it's G, it's F. So B has to be one of these two here then. Right? Because B can no longer be here. If it's here, that forces B to be the same as F, but then F would be seen in this set, and that would be contradictory. And B cannot be here anymore because A can only be here. Therefore, B has to be either G or it's F, and it's here. So one of these two is a B, which means this cannot be B. That's A, which makes this a B. A eliminates A here as a possibility, and this can't be A because of this A, so this must be A here. B is the same as G or F. It's the same as G or F. We don't know which, so B is one of these two. B cannot be I then, so B is one of these two here. What else do we know? B is one of these two. B cannot be here. B is not J, and B is not I. So B cannot be any of these. B is either G or F. We have a B in one of these two spots. It's not J, I, or A. We know B is one of these two. Then it's also one of those two. So we have all the A's, I think. Hmm. Um. hmm. Oh, that's interesting. So B cannot be the same as J. So if B is F, that means this is B, that's B. A cannot be here. A and B are different, obviously. So this would be B, which would force this to be B. So this would be B, and that would force this to be B. Okay. That seems fine. Otherwise, B, G, and B are the same. So obviously this would be B here. Which would eliminate B here, so B would have to be here. Hold up. So I think either way. So if B is F, that means this is B, this is B. J and A cannot be B, so this is B, which forces this to be B. If B is G, that means this is B, this is B. That would force B to be here, which means this could not be B. B cannot be the same as I, so therefore this would be B. So either way, this is always B. So this is always B, which means B cannot be here. So this is always B. B is one of these two. B cannot be here. Oh, B cannot be here anymore because this is B, and that's a knight's move. So if we try to have F be here, F be the same as B, then B would have to be here. That would eliminate all possibilities for the cell, so this cannot be B. So B must be G. So this is B, which means this cannot be B. This can't be B, so this has to be B here. This can no longer be B or G as we say, so this is B here in one of those two spots. Yeah, this is all Knight's move stuff, which I'm really not good at, so ugh. A, B, C, D, F. E is not the same as A, B, C, or D, or F, so it cannot be here, therefore this is E. Okay. Interesting. So I cannot be A, E, or B. It could technically be F. Or it's C or D. Okay, let's start coloring then, maybe. So these are all the orange. We have dark and dark. This will be light. C is green, red, medium, pink, yellow, and B's are blue. E's are red, C's are green. Okay. Pink cannot be here or here by knight's move. So pink has to be one of these two. But we know E is one of these two. Because E cannot be here because of knight's move. E can't be here because it's here. It cannot be the same as D or F. So this is pink, and it's also red. So this can no longer be C. So this becomes red and pink. The remaining digits here, we're looking for green. Green cannot be here, so this must be green here. So this is C, which makes this yellow. So then this has to be C here, and D can only be here then. So this is light. D eliminates D here, so this is C, which is green. So these cannot be C here. We have a dark and we have a medium left. So these are dark medium pair. Okay. F is one of these, so one of those is dark. D has to be one of these three, so it's light. E is one of these two. Yellow cannot be here or here, so yellow is one of these two. Okay, so we have pink left. Pink cannot be here and here, so pink is one of these two. So we have light. Light's one of those three. Medium. Medium cannot be here, but it could be any of these five. Dark, we have those two. Green's over here. Pink can be only one of those two. A and B are a set. Yellow's one of these two. Red is one of those two. So those are those sets. Okay. E can only be one of these two. So red. Okay, remaining digits in column 5, or remaining colors. We have green. So green can be any of these. We have light. And we have dark. So this is green, light, or dark. This cannot be light because all the lights are here. So it could be dark or it's green. So this is C or F. Interesting. If we tried to make F be I, the problem is it would have to be here. And then that sees both of the darks, which are F here. So I cannot be dark. I has to be C. So therefore, this is not green. This is not green. It couldn't be green anyways. One of these two is green. So the I's are C's, which means this is not I. J cannot be B, but it could still be D. So C cannot be here. C cannot be here. C cannot be here, or it cannot be here. It cannot be F. So C has to be here. So this is C, which means this can't be C. So this has to be C here. And is the green. That should be all the greens. Okay, we have the remaining colors in row 3. We have what? Pink, medium, and yellow. Pink, medium, yellow. This cannot be pink because of knight's move from here. This cannot be yellow because one of these two is yellow here. Um, hmm. Let's remove that for now. Okay, remaining colors in, let's do column 4. We have no light. You could have medium. You could have dark. No green. Could be pink. No orange. No blue. No red. Could be yellow. Okay. This can't be pink because of Knight's move. That's all we have, really. So this becomes a blue light pair. Remaining colors in box 3. We have light, medium, pink, and yellow. Okay. C cannot be here. J could be E. Remaining colors in column 6. We have light, medium, no dark, no green, could be pink, no orange, no red, except red could be here. Yellow, and no blue. Okay. This can't be medium because of Knight's move. This can't be pink because of Knight's move. This can't be yellow because of Knight's move. So this matches this, which means this is red, pink, medium, or light. This can't be red because of Knight's move from that red. Hmm. Huh. Okay. Hmm. Remaining digits of column 8, or colors of column 8. We have light, medium, dark, pink, and yellow. Okay. This can't be yellow because it sees this cell by normal Sudoku and this cell by Knight's move, and those are the only two yellows. Can't be red, obviously. Huh. Okay. We have all the A's. We have most of the B's. We have all the C's. We don't have very many D's necessarily. Okay. Remaining colors in box 1. No light, could be medium, could be dark, no green, could be pink, no orange, red, and yellow. So red cannot be here, obviously. Pink cannot be here because they both see these cells, which have to be pink. Yellow cannot be here because of the yellow here. We have a medium dark pair in column 2, which eliminates medium and dark in the rest of the column. So this can't be medium and dark. This can't be medium. We have red, yellow, and pink here. He's one of those two. F is dark, so this can't be dark. Okay, so one of these two is dark. Okay. Remaining digits, colors in column 1. No medium. No A, B, C, D. So, sorry, it could be medium, dark, pink, red, and yellow. Right? This is the same. Medium, dark, pink, yellow, red. Yellow cannot be here because of the yellow in the column. This can't be yellow either because of the yellow in the column. Red cannot be here because the knights move from that red. This can't be medium or dark because the knights move from those two cells. Okay. Hmm. Dark is one of these three. Right? Cannot be A, cannot be B or C, cannot be here. So since once it's one of those three, they all see this cell. These two by knights move and this by normal Sudoku. That can't be dark. Either this is medium or this is medium. Either this is yellow or that's yellow. Pink in, where's pink in? Oh, it could be any of these three. But this can't be pink because if this were pink, it would basically eliminate these two cells by normal Sudoku and this cell by knight's move. So this cannot be pink. Okay, that's not too helpful. I'm just really slow at these knight's move stuff, so sorry you guys have to sit through this as I struggle through this. B's one of these two. Um, Okay, what are the remaining colors in box 9? Let's do that. We have light, medium, dark, no green, pink, no orange, red, yellow, blue. Blue obviously can't be here or here. So blue's one of these two. These cannot be dark because of the dark here. This can't be dark because if this is dark, it sees both that cell, and those are the only two darks. Oh, well, where is dark then? In row 7. It cannot be here because it sees the dark medium pair here. Can't be here because it sees the dark here. Again, this cell sees J cannot be F. That's another thing. This cell sees both of the darks here, and this is dark. So this has to be the dark here, which means this can't be dark. That's light. This can't be dark, and we also remove light from the rest of the box. This can't be light, so this is dark, which means this is an F. This cannot be dark here. This is light, which eliminates light from here and here by Knight's move. This can no longer be light, so it's blue, which means this can't be blue. That's light. So this is D, this is B, D. This cannot be B, so this is B here. So this is blue, which means this can't be blue here. This can't be light because of the light in the row. This can't be light because of light in the row, so light has to be one of these two. This cannot be F, so this can't be F. So this can't be dark here. This is dark. So D is one of those two. D has to be one of those three. This can't be yellow because it sees both of these yellows. One by normal Sudoku, one by Knight's move. So it's not yellow. Where is light? Light is one of these two. Okay, that's not helpful. Red, pink, and medium. Okay. So yellow has to be one of these three. Yellow cannot be here, so that means yellow. Where's yellow in column 2? It must be one of these two, so this can't be yellow. This is medium or dark. We have a double medium or dark here, which eliminates medium and dark from the rest of the box. These are different ones. So this matches here. This matches here. Okay. Okay. Okay, yellow has to be one of these two here. Oh, this is medium and dark, so that eliminates medium and dark in the rest of the row. So medium has to be one of these two here. Light is one of these two. We don't know which. Light is also one of these two. So whatever medium or dark is here has to be here, and then has to be here. Um, Red has to be one of these two. Unfortunately, there's nothing that sees both of them. Dark is one of these two. Dark is one of these three. I'm really bad at spotting these knights move stuff. Let's see. Pink has to be one of these two. So it cannot be here because that sees both cells by knight's move. Uh, Interesting. A and G are consecutive. Okay. Hmm. We just don't know about J. Um. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. In row 1, if medium is here, that means this is pink, this is yellow, this is dark. That would be medium then. So there would be dark here. Medium's one of those two. Hmm. 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 Yeah, if this is medium, this is pink, that's yellow. Interesting. Okay, so if this is medium, that forces this to be pink. That forces this to be yellow. Which means this would have to be yellow, I believe, right? Because pink would be here, medium would be here, pink would be guaranteed here, medium would be here, so this would be yellow in that case. So if this is not, so therefore yellow has to be one of these two, which means this cannot be yellow here. Yellow cannot be here either, so yellow is one of these two. Hmm. If this is yellow, obviously, then this is pink, this is medium. Hmm. 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 Obviously, if this is E, that has to be E. If this is E, then that means that's E, which would force that to be E. Hmm. 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 If this is light here, that means this can't be light, so this would have to be light, and then this would have to be light there. If this is medium, interesting. If this is medium, that means this can no longer be medium. So this would have to be medium, which would mean that's not medium. So this can never be medium here. So this is pink or light. Interesting. Interesting. So if this is medium, that would mean this has to be medium here. Um, hmm. Uh, hmm. Um, okay, so if this is E, that would force this to be E and that to be E. So then these would both be E. Because red can no longer be here. Hmm. Where is yellow in row 2? Cannot be any of these cells. Because again, we tried, if this is medium, this is pink, that's yellow. Which means yellow could not be... Yellow could not be here. Pink would have to be here. This would be medium, so that would force that to be yellow. So this cannot be yellow here. So yellow is one of these two. Light is one of these two. Light is one of those two. We just one of these three, I guess. Just don't know which. Oh, that's interesting. Light is definitely one of these two. So because light is one of those two, it must be with the other one. So D is not 1 or 9. I don't know if that tells us very much, but we just know it's not 1 or 9 because it's consecutive with 2 other digits. Hmm. This is rough. As I said, I'm really bad at these anti-night puzzles, so I just don't see them very well at all. Red could be any of these three. Whatever cell is here has to be the same as this cell. Right? Because it cannot be any of these. It has to be there. So this cell matches this, which matches this. I guess we can remove the E part of it. Let's make it Z, I guess. Z, Z. We'll make this Y. So Y must match one of those two. So Z has to be one of these two. Y has to be one of these two here. Z is either cannot be here. So it's one of those two. That doesn't help us much. Okay, what happens if we remove the... Wait, was that one I wanted to remove? Made that medium. So this becomes pink, yellow, light yellow. So this becomes medium. Obviously, this can't be medium. So this would be yellow. Not yellow here. This would have to be pink. Oh, we have a contradiction there. That can't be pink. Okay, there we go. So this can't be medium. If we tried to make this medium, that forces this to be pink. This can't be pink anymore. That's a yellow light pair, which eliminates yellow and light in the rest of the row. So that would be pink, but this is a nice move apart. So therefore that can't be medium. Therefore this is yellow, which means this can't be yellow. This is pink, which means this can't be pink. That's medium. So this can't be medium. This can't be medium. That's yellow, which eliminates yellow in the rest of the box. This is pink, which eliminates pink here. So this is red, and therefore this is red here. So this is yellow here. This must be pink. So we have pink, pink. This cannot be pink anymore. This can't be red anymore. This is medium, so this cannot be medium, and this cannot be medium. And this can't be medium because of Knight's move, so this is E and red, so this can't be red. This is dark, which means this can't be dark. This is a pink light pair. This yellow eliminates yellow here, so that's dark, which means this can't be dark here. So this is a pink light pair. This is medium. Yellow's here. This can't be yellow. Okay. What does that tell us? I'm not really sure. We know this is E. So these are the same. We have a pink medium pair here, which eliminates pink and medium in the rest of the row. And this can't be dark either. So it's a yellow-red pair here. So light's consecutive with pink also. Light's consecutive with A and light's consecutive with pink. Okay. Red is consecutive with pink or medium. C is consecutive with pink or medium, the other pink or medium. We have a yellow-pink pair here. Sorry, yellow-red pair here. So this cannot be yellow or red, which makes this medium or pink. Jeez. Ugh. I'm so bad at these. This is red, so that eliminates red here. Yellow's one of these. Red's one of these two. pink is one of these two guaranteed. That's not helpful, though. Yellow is one of these two guaranteed. That's not helpful. Red is one of these two guaranteed. That's not helpful. Is it? Maybe it is. Say red is here. That forces red to be here and red to be here. Otherwise, these are both red, and then that's red. That's not helpful. So if this is not red, that forces this to be red here, and red to be here, and red to be here, which makes this yellow. Dark is one of these two. Ugh, I'm so bad at this. Oh, this is dark, so this can't be dark anymore. That's medium, which means this can't be medium. So it's dark, which means this can't be dark. That's medium, which means this can't be medium. So this is dark, which means this can't be dark. Where is the dark? This medium eliminates medium here. So this is dark. This is a pink medium pair. Okay. Dark could be in a 1-to-2 ratio with either red or yellow. We don't know. So this is definitely F, which means this can't be F. Okay. And let's mark the Z and Y. That forces this to be Y and this to be Z. Z has to be one of these two. Y could be any of these. Z could be any of these. Y is consecutive with C. Z is consecutive with E. Light and pink are consecutive. And pink is only consecutive with red or green. So even if this were pink, it would have to be next to light. So if this were pink and this were light, this would have to be pink or orange, but it can't be either. So this has to be light, which means this is not light, this is pink. This can't be pink or light, it's medium, which eliminates medium here. So this is yellow, this can't be yellow anymore. This is a pink light pair, which eliminates pink and light in the rest of the box. So this is light, which eliminates light here. So light, that's pink, which means this can't be pink here. This is medium. This can't be pink or medium. It's light, which means it can't be light. This can't be pink anymore. It's yellow, which eliminates pink and yellow here. So that's light, which means this can't be light. This is pink, which means this can't be pink. That's light. Okay. This is not pink. So this is red or medium, which could match either of these. Still. Ugh. Okay. Z is here. So Z is medium. Therefore, this can't be medium. This can't be medium. It's pink. Okay, which means this is pink. This is medium, so that's a nice move away from here. So this cannot be medium. This is red, which means this can't be medium either. So this is an E, which eliminates red here and red here. So this is yellow, which means this can't be yellow. So that's red, and it's E. That can't be red. It's yellow. That eliminates yellow here, so that's medium. And now we have all the relationships. So now we should be able to figure this out. E is in a 1-to-2 ratio with F. Okay, that's interesting. A is in a 1-to-2 ratio with medium. And then F is also in a 1-to-2 ratio with Y. So this F has to be 2 or 4. So F is 2 or 4. And it's in a 1-to-2 ratio with both E and pink. So this cannot be 3 or 6. This is guaranteed to be 1, 2, 4, or 8. So we have to have 2 or 4 here, which means A is 3 and 6 with light. Or sorry, with medium. So this becomes a 3-6 pair. Okay. Light is consecutive. It cannot be 3, so this is 1 or 5. Which means this is 2 or 4. So if this is 1, this is 2. And then this has to be 4, if that's the case. If this is 5, this is 4, and this could be 2 or 8. So F is 2 or 4. Red is 1, 2, 4, or 8. But it cannot be 1, because if it were 1... then the problem is it would be consecutive with Z, which is definitely not 2. So this has to, red has to be 2, 4, or 8. Pink is 2, 4, 8. So this is a 2, 8 pair, which forces darks to be 4. So this is 4, which means yellows are 5. This is a 3, 6 pair. So yellows are 5. We have 4 here. Pink and red are 2 and 8. Oops. So pink and red are 2 and 8. Okay. 4 and 5 are consecutive. Z's are 3 and 6. And that's consecutive. It has Z is 3 or 6, and it's consecutive with 2 or 8, which means Z has to be 3, and red has to be 2, and pink has to be 8. Okay. So A is 6 now. We have 1, 7, and 9 remaining. So D in light has to be 7. C is 9, and B is 1. And that's a solution. Yeah, I'm not good at these anti-night things. I find these are still fun for me, so that's why I do these. But if you're looking for the fastest way to figure these out, I'm afraid I'm not the one you should look for. On the other hand, if you like to see people struggling through these situations, you'll see me do that fairly often in the anti-knight puzzles. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.